Hey flippers, it's Dave with FlipperForce House Flipping Software, and I'm here to share with you our house flipping punch list, which you can use to help you finish your project strong and make sure you have everything completed and ready for your open houses and potential home buyers that are going to be walking through your property. So one problem a lot of house flippers have, myself included, is we start to get a little careless once we start reaching the finish line of our rehab project. So it's like we spend months finding the deal, managing our contractors, picking out materials and finishes for the property, and then we try to rush to get to the finish line only to let a lot of the details just kind of slip through the cracks. So the last thing that you really want to do is rush to the finish line and put a property on the market that's not completely finished, or maybe it's dirty, and it'll make a bad impression with your home buyers that want to buy your property. So the purpose of this punch list here is to help you ensure that all of your work has been completed on your project, so your property is ready to be listed on the market and ready to be viewed by new home buyers. So our punch list is really broken down into 5 areas. So as you can see, we've got exteriors punch list, kitchen punch list, bathrooms punch list, and then interior finishes, as well as MEP systems, which is your mechanical, electrical, and plumbing systems. So our exteriors punch list really kind of walks through the major components of the exterior of the property, and it's basically telling you, you need to have the roof in good condition, make sure that there's no debris on the roof, no leaves, no tree limbs, stuff like that. Make sure you have all the gutters and downspouts cleaned out, have your gutter splash blocks in place, stuff like that. Siding, make sure that it's clean of any kind of dirt or debris. All the siding joints are caulked and the siding's been painted, so make sure that there's no touch-up that needs to happen on any kind of painting anywhere. Exterior doors, make sure that the doors are opening and closing freely. All the door hardware is in place. You've got the entry door keys and stuff like that in place. Windows open and close freely as well. Make sure that there's no windows that are cracked or broken or anything like that. Landscaping, you've got all of your bushes, your flowers and mulch beds installed and in place. There's no debris or trash or anything like that in the yard. And then you've got your mailbox, your address number, stuff like that installed. So that's just kind of the general checklist for the exterior. So just kind of a comprehensive checklist that you can use to help you make sure that the exterior of your property is looking good when people start showing up at your property. And then the next one is the kitchen punch list. So make sure that your cabinet doors open and close freely. You've got your cabinet knobs installed. The cabinet shelving is all installed. So a lot of the cabinets just come with the shelving just sitting in there. Just make sure that you've got that installed. Cabinets have been caulked. The countertops have been caulked. And then of course you want to make sure that they've been cleaned. So when you're drilling into your cabinets, it's gonna cause a little bit of wood dust and stuff like that in your cabinet. Make sure that you've got that vacuumed out, so when somebody opens up those cabinets, they're not filthy and stuff like that. So appliances punch list. So this is the next section on the kitchen punch list. Make sure that your appliances have all been cleaned out. If they've got the plastic or protective films on them, make sure that you've removed those. And then make sure that you've tested them and got them hooked up. So dishwasher should be hooked up, the refrigerator should be hooked up, stove should be plugged in, stuff like that. Set the timer on there, set the time on your oven. The next section is going to be a bathroom punch list. So make sure that the bathroom vanities are installed, all of the plumbing fixtures are installed with no leaks or anything like that. Make sure that everything's been cleaned. So when you've got a tub that's been installed or a shower base that's been installed, a lot of time the tile guys can be a little dirty, so just make sure that all of that's been cleaned. Also make sure that your faucets are configured properly so that the hot water is actually pouring out hot water and not cold water. Make sure that your mirrors have been cleaned, and make sure that you've got your accessories installed. So your towel holder, your toilet paper holder, stuff like that. So that's the bathroom punch list. And then the next section is going to be just random and general interior finishes. So we've got flooring, we've got painting, doors and trim, and other interior punch list items. So as far as flooring is concerned, make sure that the carpet, there's no loose carpet threads or seams or anything like that. You've got your transition strips installed. You've got floor protection installed, so if you got a bunch of foot traffic that's going to be coming through the property, you can install that plastic protection just to keep people from tracking mud in your property. And then obviously you're going to want to make sure that you've vacuumed all of your carpet floors and then mopped any kind of hardwood or any tile in the property. Painting punch list, make sure all of your walls have been touched up and painted. So if there's any spots where there's maybe a mark on your trim or on the wall, make sure that you've touched that up. Any kind of trim nail holes, make sure those have been filled with putty. And then doors and trim, make sure all the doors are opening and closing freely. All the knobs have been installed, stuff like that. And then the last section that we've got is a MEP systems punch list. So that is mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. All your electrical breakers are on, all of your outlets and switches are installed and they're clean. So if you're installing new cover plates throughout the property, make sure that your painter hasn't painted over those and stuff like that. All of the outlets have been tested and are working. All of your fans and light fixtures throughout the property are working. You've got light bulbs and all of the light fixtures, stuff like that. Plumbing punch list. So again, all the plumbing fixtures are installed and working properly. No leaks, no faucet leaks, nothing like that. And everything is, the hot and cold faucets, again, are oriented properly. Make sure you've tested the garbage disposal, caulking around all of the plumbing fixtures. HVAC checklist, make sure that your furnace and air conditioning are working and tested. Your ductwork's been cleaned and all of your grills and registers in the property are clean and installed throughout the property. So again, this is a comprehensive punch list that you can use and you can download to help you finish out your rehab project strong and make sure that your properties are ready to be listed on the market. So if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.